Hello, I'm Bert Bassett. I've been a business seller on eBay for over 20 years. I've even worked for eBay for 11 years. I've helped thousands of sellers of all sizes to grow their sales on eBay. And now I'm creating videos to help you. In this video, we're going to talk about eBay listing titles, how to get them right, to get the most traffic and sell more stuff. Going to do a quick summary as I always do, in case you only want to watch 30 seconds or so video. Bullet points are: use your 80 characters, no all caps, no wacky symbols, no repeats if you can avoid it. Spaces count to your 80 characters. Subtitles, they're not for search, they're for service. You can put things like fast delivery, UK based, that kind of stuff in there, but they ain't going to help you with search. Use words that people actually search for. Don't be vain. People aren't looking for cheap dog bed on eBay. They may not be looking for your brand if it's not a particularly big or exciting one. Just use the stuff that a normal person would type in if they're looking for the kind of product that you sell. Order of words is important. Generally, you go for brand, thing, model type, and then modifiers. And you can leave out brand if people ain't searching for it. Yeah, if you're Sony or Adidas, use it. But if you're some like new brand or not particularly established, don't bother with it. You can always deal with that in item specifics. So, for instance, Sony PlayStation, PS2 console, black, slim, NTSC, SCP-7500, one controller, memory card. That's a good 80 character headline. It's going to give you everything, and the order is correct. Most important words are near the front. Likewise, cat bed, beanbag, 45 centimeter diameter, green leather, white clean, indoor kitten, small dog, because there wasn't enough to write about. So we had to add in a few extra keywords to make up the 80. So we put in keywords at the end, which made sense and are likely to be things that people are searching for where they might want a beanbag bed. When you want to get your keywords, get them from eBay itself by looking at other people's listings, get them from Amazon, get them from autocomplete, get them from Google search, get them from the item specifics that you're asked to fill out on your listing, and you can pick up even more detailed information on which keywords you can use by actually running a promoted listings priority campaign and checking the report. And then most importantly, when you make changes to your listings, test your changes using the Download Active Listings Traffic Report, which is in Performance and Traffic tabs of Seller Hub. Something you got to remember anytime you're making a change to a listing: people will give you advice, eBay will give you advice, you'll get strong instructions and guidance, but sometimes what might be right for them may not be right for you. So you've got to remember that your data beats their opinion. So anytime you make a change, be it a listing title, pictures, descriptions, any of that kind of stuff, even changing your advertising, make sure you're actually tracking what's going on. Make a note of when you make the change and then use the active listings traffic report to find out whether you actually had a positive effect. So if you're in the performance tab of Seller Hub and you go to traffic here, you'll get to this page and you can set any date you want with your custom date range, and then you download the active traffic listings report here, and that's going to pull you out a little spreadsheet that's going to tell you what's going on. And here is the active listings traffic report. What it's going to do is it's going to give you all of your titles here, your item numbers, and then it's going to give you stats like how many impressions you had in the period that you've defined, how many you've sold, what your top 20 search slot impressions are, both for promoted and organic impressions. It's going to give you page views here. It's basically going to give you all of your funnel information. How many times is my listing being shown in search? How many times is it being clicked on? How many people are looking at my page and then converting? So when you're making changes to things that you think will help you in search, you should be getting more impressions. When you're making changes to things that should help your conversion rate, then your page views should be turning into more sales. If you're not looking at this, you're not really checking whether the things you're doing are going to have an effect. It also means you might be making changes which aren't helping you at all. Now for a bit more detail. I'm going to use this listing flow, but however you enter your titles, this is going to be a longer guide to writing your titles. So I've just picked something at random, Sony Walkman MP3 player. And actually, you can see this if I start typing in Sony Walkman. It suggests a few things. I picked MP3 player because that in my imagination is what I have to sell. It's then going to suggest a few things you could put there, and it'll either be something generic, or you can continue without a match, or it'll take you through to something. So you click on this one here. So let's say I've got a new one of these. Now, even if eBay has auto-suggested a title, you're still going to want to optimize that and change that a little bit yourself. So what we've got here is got the item title, Sony Walkman NWA306 MP3 player. NWA 306BC, which is the model number. Now, straight away, there's a few things here. Like symbols, if they're integral, you use them. So it is an NW-A306, which is what people are going to search for, but they're not going to search for this brand in brackets, and there's not going to be a dash. So straight away, we get rid of that. What we also know is we've only used 40 characters out of 80 here. So this could be twice as long. There's some extra stuff in there. Now, the interesting thing is Sony Walkman. Sony's a big brand, but the fact it's an MP3 player is pretty important. So I would actually take this MP3 out and I would move it further forward. And the general rule is think about your title and think if I only had 3 words or 5 words, or just a smaller amount than I actually do, which would be the ones that I would use if I had to. And obviously you would call it a Sony Walkman MP3, then maybe a Sony Walkman MP3 player, then you would put the extra stuff in. The most important keywords go at the front. So we've used 41 out of 80 keywords. Now you can always save and come back if you're going to be looking at stuff. So you don't have to finish it in one go. You can save it and then you can do a bit more research, because if you're not using your full 80, you should be. You should be trying to use as many keywords as you possibly can. Little side note on a subtitle. Subtitles don't work for search. They are modifiers. If there's any extra information you really want to put in there that people aren't going to be searching for, like you're UK based, or you have fast delivery, or you're a friendly seller, or it's a pet free household or something like that, stuff that people aren't actually going to be searching for but might actually give you some advantage, you can put in. But be aware, subtitles don't really appear in every circumstance and every format, like some mobile formats. It's expensive, £2.40 per month per listing, and it's not to do with search. Very briefly, remember, it's brand, thing, modifier here. So Sony, that's a big enough brand that you want to put it there. People are looking for it. It's going to be in search quite a lot. It's definitely worth it. But you've got Sony here. Sony Walkman maybe even is the brand, but the fact that it's a Walkman MP3 player, that's what it is. And then these are the various modifiers that you can have. The other things you can think about when you're thinking about other titles to put in is that you can look at the item specifics which are available for the item. So we know that you have to have a brand and a model within this category. It likes an EAN. It likes what the playable media formats are. Then it likes about connectivity. So for instance, you know that people care about Bluetooth, they care about NFC, they care about USB. So if it has those things, you can put them in the title. Color, that matters. So again, you can have that in there. And other features here, you can see that basically the information here is important enough for eBay to suggest to you that you have it as an item specific, which means that customers are interested in it and you can put it into your item. Where else can I find keywords? Well, again, I can go into eBay itself and I can type in Sony Walkman MP3 player, and it's going to then do autocomplete. And this is going to tell me other things I might want in there. So Bluetooth, the memory size, charger, whether it's got a case, USB, new, I'm not so keen on, but you could put it in there. Then when you actually press the search button and look, you can actually look at other people's description. So some people have mentioned it's got an FM radio. Someone's misspelt the word portable here, but they have said it's portable. You can get loads of suggestions for words if you have space to put more into your title. Again, like some people just waste that. People aren't typing in fast dispatch. You can work that out because of all the other stuff that's written on the listing. But this is quite a good way of finding extra keywords to make up to your 80 once you've gone through the mandatory stuff you need about brand, model, type, color, that kind of thing. Now we boo and hiss because we're on Amazon, but Amazon and Google and various others, you can go to like any shop or anything. It's going to give you insight on what you have. Obviously, pick an appropriate site for the type of thing you're selling. But here we go, Sony Walkman MP3 player on Amazon. It gives you these keywords you got. Now, the interesting thing about Amazon is you're allowed much longer titles on Amazon than you are on eBay. It's like 150 compared to 80. So you get to see a lot more keywords here. So again, if by now you haven't really got an idea of how to fill up your 80, you're not really trying hard enough. But again, you can see that people are putting things. Very important, if you have things like earphones and extras, make sure you try and mention them in your title. Anything that's included, anything you're selling, try and get that in the title. A final, slightly hard work way of finding new queries and a bit more information is you go into Seller Hub, you go to the reports tab and you go to downloads, you get a download report. Now, what you will have done prior to this is you'll have set up a promoted listings priority cost per click advertising campaign. You can set it up as a smart campaign, so eBay picks all the keywords it bids on for you, and then just let it run for a while. There's generally a free trial on if you haven't used promoted listings priority before or for a while. If you are using promoted listings priority anyway, well, just broaden out your keywords a little bit and you can run this report. So you select the report source, which is advertising. The campaign strategy is promoted listings priority. The type of report is the search query report. And then just use all of your campaigns, use the time unit as a summary. And for date range, basically go as big as you can. You can go back like 15, 16 months if necessary. That'll give you a lot of data, and click download. And it'll take a little while and then it'll download for you. And here is the report that you'll get. So what you do is you put a filter into it and you open up the M column, which is the search query. So no matter what the keywords you actually put in that you wanted to bid on, say, for instance, your keyword would be just cat or kitten or indoor cat, not very many. What this report will show you is what people actually typed into the search box here. So although my keyword was cat, it says people were searching for cat toys or cat indoor playpen with toys. And from this, you can get the ideas of the kind of volumes, relatively speaking, that people are using. So you can see here that cat toys for indoor cats, cat tunnel, interactive. So interactive and indoor could be good keywords. It just runs down. It's not particularly sophisticated, but it does tell you pretty much everything that everybody is searching for. As you can see, there's a lot of phrases here. Again, bit of a try-hard thing to do, probably only worth it if you've got an item with a lot of stock that's going to be around as an item for a long period of time. So remember, use your 80 characters. Subtitles aren't for search. Use words that people are actually going to search for. Don't be vain about what keywords you're going to put into your title. The order of the words is important. The most important words should be further forward. Try and go for brand if it's important, then the thing it is, then the model and the type, and then the modifiers. Get your keywords from eBay itself. Get them from Amazon. You can get them from autocomplete. You can get them from Google. Item specifics can give you clues, and you can do that strange report from promoted listings priority campaigns. And remember, test your changes. Whenever you do anything to an eBay listing, note down when you did it and then measure what happened before and after you made those changes. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. Tell all your friends.